In March 1943, Pir Sibghatullah Shah Rashidi was sentenced to death by the British government of India. Sibghatullah Shah was an influential religious leader from the region of Sindh. During his youth, he witnessed how the British were humiliating Indians and using them as soldiers during the First World War. Therefore, Sibghatullah Shah had a desire to wage a war against the British and gain freedom for his people. In 1921, Sibghatullah began an armed rebellion against the British authorities in the province of Sindh. With the help of his followers and loyal Sindhi tribes, Sibghatullah managed to assemble a huge army and gather a large volume of rifles and ammunition. Soon, Sibghatullah and his followers began ambushing British officers and soldiers in Sindh. Eventually, after multiple British officers were killed in the region, the British surrounded the house of Sibghatullah and arrested him for illegal possession of weapons. However, during this period, the British did not have any evidence that Sibghatullah was the leader of the violent resistance movement in Sindh. In 1922, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who was a famous lawyer in Karachi at the time, defended Sibghatullah in court. As a result, Sibghatullah was released from prison. After being released from prison, Sibghatullah gained fame all over the province of Sindh, and his supporters increased. Many religious scholars such as Maulana Ubaidullah Sindhi also pledged allegiance to Sibghatullah and joined his jihad against the British. After his release from jail, Sibghatullah continued his guerrilla war against the British. His rebel army attacked British police stations, train stations, railway lines, and telegraph lines, and ambushed and killed many British officers. Within a few years, Sibghatullah and his rebel army managed to gain control of many towns and villages in Sindh, such as Shikarpur, Khairpur, Sangar, and Umarkot, and he managed to establish an independent government in the region. After liberating areas from British rule, Sibghatullah closed all British offices and institutions and established his own independent institutions. The British tried to find Sibghatullah, but they could not locate him, and Sibghatullah's guerrilla war against the British continued for 20 years. When World War II began in 1939, Sibghatullah managed to capitalize on the lack of British soldiers in India, and he captured more and more territory in Sindh and expanded his independent state. The British were extremely anxious about the dangerous situation in Sindh. Therefore, in 1942, the British government of India declared martial law in the province of Sindh. Thousands of British troops were sent to Sindh, and the war continued for one more year. Many British soldiers were killed in fierce battles and surprise attacks by the followers of Sibghatullah. However, the British eventually began to target civilians in Sindh and began bombing the region with planes. And in 1943, Sibghatullah Shah was finally captured by the British. Sibghatullah Shah Rashdi was sentenced to death and was hanged on 20th March 1943. After his death, the British government buried his body in a secret location.